Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us today. I'm your host, Sumit Swami, along with Kara McComb as my co-host. And this is one of our another episodes of Navigating Northern. And this week's topic is, it's actually a bigger topic. So let me take a second. So this week's topic is Northern Training Division, academic upgrading, and employment options employ. We will be discussing some uniquely funded training opportunities with Jennifer Martell, Kate Quinn, and Tina Bates. There's so much information today, it's going to be jam-packed. But before that, let's go with some house rules. There are no video or audio options for the viewers in this webinar due to hosting purposes. But if you have any suggestions, any ideas, any questions, you can always type to the chat box below. It's always available for you. To avoid repetition, Kara will be sorting out all the questions coming in today, and plus this webinar will be recorded and you can view it later from our website and also on our amazing YouTube channel. It's really good. There's a lot of content there too. So let's go and do a roundtable introduction. So this is the format. I guess I'll kind of keep it in mind. I'll go first, Kara goes second, then goes Jennifer, Kate, and Tina. So Jennifer, Kate, and Tina. JKT. What do you think? Perfect? Yeah? All right. So let me introduce myself. I'm Sumit Swami. I'm one of the liaison and recruitment officer here at Northern College. And I basically take care of the North region. So I'm the one who goes to the high schools. I go to events. I go to many different places, talk to students, guidance counselors, high schools, mature students, and talk about the college and the programs that we offer. I'm doing this job for almost 3 years now. Love it. Traveled all over Ontario. They always give you Northern College swag because I'm the representative. So I get the Northern College shirt first. Plus, I drive the Northern College vehicle too. So if you see up north, maybe north of Huntsville, if there's a Northern College vehicle, that's me. So always feel free to say hi. Let's go with you, Kara.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kara, and I do the exact same thing as Sumit, except I'm in Southern Ontario. Same as Sumit, I've been here for 3 years, actually this month. And yeah, in a normal year, we will be in schools and at community events. But this year, we've been online so much. We've been doing these and connecting with a lot of you. So thank you so much for joining tonight.
Jennifer.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jennifer Martell, and I'm the Employment Services Coordinator for Employment Options Emploi in New Liskeard. So something that I do would be to connect community, to connect with community, let them know about our products and services that we offer, also provide some important grant information and some guideline information to employers in the area, let them know how they can train some apprentices, or let them know how they can access some training opportunities, some training dollars through the Canada-Ontario Job Grant. And I support my coworkers in their endeavors as well. So essentially we provide community services, community employment services to the communities of from Timmins to Temagami.
Thank you, Jennifer. Let's go with Kate.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us this evening. My name is Kate Quinn, and I'm the Program Development Officer with the Northern Training Division. I'm located at the Timmins campus. Essentially, my job is responsible for doing research and determining different training needs. I also regularly seek and apply for funded training opportunities, and if we successfully receive these funding opportunities, I would oversee the delivery of those programs.
Thank you very much, Kate. Last but not least, Tina.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tina Bates, and I am the coordinator and full-time professor for academic upgrading at the Haileybury campus of Northern College. The upgrading program, what it does is it helps people get either their grade 12, which they may want just for their own personal use or for employment purposes, so they can get a better promotion at work. We also help people get their prereqs they may need for any college program that they want to go into. For example, if somebody was interested in getting into the nursing program and they did not take chemistry in high school, then they would come to us to get that chemistry credit.
Pretty much that's in a nutshell, eh? That's true. So let's go with some of the questions. So these are the questions that we got during our recruitment run. These are some of the questions that we'll also talk about what we are trying to do today, and it's more in elaborate to kind of discuss the topic in detail. So the first question is kind of the same. You talked about it a little bit, but I'll still kind of keep up to respect the questions because they are coming in. So I'll say, we're talking about more about the services that are offered at academic upgrading, Northern Training Division, and Employment Option Employee. So I mean, if you guys want to talk a little bit more about the services, you gave a little bit of idea in a nutshell, but if you want to extend it a little bit for our viewers, that would be very helpful. So we'll go with the same format. We'll go with Jennifer, Kate, and Tina, JKT, I guess. So let's go with Jennifer.
Okay, thank you very much. Good question. Employment Options Emploi, first and foremost is funded by Employment Ontario and the Ministry of Labour, Training and Skills Development. We do have 3 physical locations, all supported by Northern College, of course, Timmins, Kirkland Lake, and New Liskeard, which means, as I said before, that we cover Timmins to Temagami. So what we actually do is we support job seekers to establish clear career paths by helping them explore what their options are. So if they're coming to see us and wanting job advancement or wanting a new job or wanting to be retrained in something different, those are the types of things that we can let them know about, let them know what all of the options might be. We do like career assessments and find out like where they're at as far as, their, proposed career goal. And we also support employers by helping to connect them with, trained people that they need. Sometimes that's by making government dollars available to them to help train their new or existing staff through like programs like the Canada Ontario Job Grant. Or sometimes what we do is we help connect them to someone that's willing to apprentice, in a specific job. In other cases, what we do is we help provide them with training dollars, initial training dollars for new employees to them. Like maybe someone hasn't had a lot of experience in that type of employment. And so what we'll do is we'll make subsidy dollars available to that employer in order to entice them to create that working relationship with that new person. So we have both job seeker clients, and we also have employer clients that we assist along the way. Whether their goal be, like I said before, job advancement, or whether that be, furthering their education in order to, open up job opportunities or employment opportunities for them. What we're there for is to help them make a path for that and set those goals to be able to, reach their career path.
So true, Jennifer. Thank you very much for that detailed information, because I remember I was a new immigrant and I got a full-time job in Toronto, and I thought, oh my God, I'm so successful. I got a job in Toronto, and it was good. The job was good. The problem was I hated Toronto. So I left everything, came back to Kirkland Lake, and I know I took Employment Options help, and they helped me so much. So, sometimes you just see the name of Employment Option and you think, oh, maybe they're helping with employment, but it's so much bigger than that. They not only helped me with my resume creation, they helped me with job seeking, they helped me with so many things. And I feel so bad because I had a caseworker that used to work with me for the whole time. And then I think there was one job that was almost about to be done. I was supposed to be a funeral home manager.
Wow.
Yes, it was that close. But I guess out of nowhere, I applied for Northern College job because I was kind of an internal already. And I was a janitor at that time. So I applied for the job and it worked out. So again, I know the services. It's a very, very big option. It's not just one thing. It's so much to it.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't, you don't necessarily
Understand it.
you don't necessarily think that maybe housing has to do with employment or childcare or transportation, but all of these things come into play. So that's where, in employment, we shine, because we do take everything under consideration when it comes to, helping people find their dream job. So
Absolutely. Thank you. So sorry, Kate, to go into my personal story. I just got excited. We were talking about it, took me to that memory lane, but let's go with you, Kate. Let's talk about Northern Training Division.
So Northern Training Division is a division of the college that offers customizable training. We do all kinds of different things, from corporate clients to general interest, public and students alike. So we offer general interest courses such as pottery, driver's education, or hunter safety. We do professional development such as effective time management, conflict management, or public speaking, as well as some health and safety training. And we also have specialized training programs such as our Surface Diamond Driller Common Core, or Surface Common Core for the Diamond Driller Assistant, as well as the Underground Hard Rock Miner Common Core, as DZ driving as some examples. As I mentioned previously, we regularly seek and apply for funded opportunities so that we can provide these training opportunities to the communities that we serve. And by following our Facebook page, you would be able to get information about these opportunities and just stay up to date with what the training division is doing within the communities. I should mention, I'm based out of Timmins, but Northern Training Division has an office at every one of our campus locations.
Thank you very much, Kate. And I would, an inside scoop, training division always has the best giveaway, and they have the best things ever. They have the best swag in the business. We get a thing that is so good and we're so proud about it, and training division will just kind of come in, drop the mic, and just walk away. And I know that because I worked with them so much. They have the best giveaways of all time. Again, sorry, Tina, let's go with you. Let's talk about a little bit about academic upgrading. I'm pretty sure it's just not a name. There's so much more to it. Let's explore that.
Yeah, it is. It is quite a comprehensive program. So what this is we offer equivalent courses to what you might get in the secondary school education. So people can come to us and they can get their grade 12. It's called an A certificate, an academic career entrance certificate, which is an equivalency to their grade 12, and it's recognized across Ontario, you know, with employers and apprenticeship and whatnot. In order to get that, people they only need to do 4 grade 12 courses. So when they first approach us, what we do is we do an academic assessment. We assess their reading, their writing, and their math skills, also their digital literacy skills. From that assessment, it allows us to build a specific curriculum for that person. So not everybody does exactly the same thing at the program. They all have different dreams, different goals in mind, different careers, different post-secondary education goals that Rosie might take something different than Deanna, for example. The other thing that we do is, and Jennifer spoke a little bit about this, is we try to make sure it's all encompassing. So is your mental health being met? Do you have childcare? Do you have transportation to get here and back? Because there's so many external factors that come into play that need to be addressed before people can actually sit down and concentrate on the academics. So those factors are very, very important. We also provide training dollars for people. So just to make it easier for them to attend classes and to get to where they want to go. So this can come in the form of child support dollars, travel support dollars. And this year, it's actually extended into other forms such as technology support. So that's been a very big deal for a lot of people this year because, you know, we're all working from home basically. So their length of stay typically in the program is 1 year for people to start and finish and to get on to their next step. Some people are much quicker, some people are a little longer. We all, you know, walk in different shoes and have different life situations going on behind the scenes. So, you know, we take all of that into account. We have 3 professors that teach in the program. We all have our own strengths. So we like to think that our students are very well, I don't want to say managed is not the right word, but taken care of, where they can come to myself for some things. My strengths are some places where somebody else's strengths are another place. And get the support and the advice and the referrals that they need. Thank you.
We talked about academic upgrading, we talked about Northern Training Division, and we also talked about employment options, right? The question is, how do you guys all connect? What is happening here? What's the story? What is the relationship? Talk to us.
Okay, well, actually, all 3 of our departments make up part of the community business development and employment side of the Northern College family. We're all really involved in bringing training opportunities and educational opportunities to benefit people and their long-term employment and training goals. You know, and everyone has something different when they come to see us. But what we do have in common is that although we may not help the same person at the same time, that same person may see each one of our departments along their journey towards a newer, a better job. So, and, you know, and as we all know, education and training, you know, leads to, you know, increases in things like productivity, you know, average income increases, you know, with, you know, increased training and education, unemployment decreases. So all of these things benefit our communities, right? So we all then, Northern Training Division, academic upgrading, employment, because we all have like that sense of community and training and education, you know, which, you know, aligns well with Northern College. You know, we all have a vested interest in stronger communities and a stronger Ontario, you know, because we all know it starts with education and training.
That's true. I think Kate wants to say a little bit more there. I feel like you want to say something. Go ahead, do it.
I think that I just echo what Jennifer has said. We work together to really try to make sure that any of our learners or our clients that come through our doors have the supports that they need to be successful. And as Jen mentioned, for employment, if you walk into Employment Options and you say you want to go to school, they will help support you in that journey, and that could lead you through either my door or Tina's door as potentially your next stop. And we want to make sure that we communicate that with each other so that no one is really being left behind or falling through cracks. We really try to make sure that those referrals happen, are followed through with, and that the support is provided to the students.
Absolutely. Tina, do you want to add a little bit to it?
Sure. So something I might have gone on to mention a little bit earlier was part of the upgrading program. So we support people for employment, post-secondary, personnel, and apprenticeship. So when people come to us, it might be a referral from Jennifer or Kate because they're lacking their grade 12 or their prereqs that they may need, the math or the English or whatever. And when they're done achieving all their academics with me, I would most likely send back to them to move on to the next step. So if it was employment, then I would obviously send back to Jennifer's program, get help in that department. So I think it's just a wraparound services.
That's true. That's true. So let's talk about the benefits of all these programs being involved, and have, like, is there any chance where you're able to serve, let's say, the same client at the same time, or because there is so much vastness in each services, how does that kind of jive into all this?
There are certainly times that we may be serving the same clients, you know, in employment service versus upgrading. As Tina can speak to, somebody who's going through upgrading may also be seeking employment. And so employment services can provide that assistance to them, and certainly they would be serving the same client at the same time. Generally, we're not all serving the same client at once, but like Tina said, that wraparound support and making sure that if somebody came in wanting education, then we're referring them to the appropriate service. Similarly, if you finish a training program and you need help with finding employment, we're making sure to connect you back with Employment Options to get that support and start your career.
Amazing. All right. Anybody else wants to add a little bit to it, or you're pretty much satisfied with what Katie said?
That was great.
Yeah. All righty. Let's go to the next one then. So let's say you have that whole option open. There are programs out there. How would someone be referred to these programs or these departments? How does that work? Is it only mouth of reference, or it's only through Facebook, or is there any channels that the viewers can know and get benefited from it?
I think every one of us has our own Facebook page. There's an upgrading Facebook page, there's a Northern Training, and there's Employment Options. And these groups, specifically Employment Options, you have one for each of your locations. Not as sure about upgrading, and Northern Training has one for all locations. It's not separated by campus. In terms of if somebody was already within our doors, then we have an internal referral form that we fill out. We get our client's signature so that we can share the information with the other department. And that would be how we would do internal referrals. Outside, we certainly encourage you, if you have friends that are looking for assistance, to let them know who we are and what we can do for you or for them. And just let them know to give us a call, chat with us through Facebook, or send us an email, and we'd be happy to provide that service to anyone within the community.
Amazing. Jennifer, if you want to talk a little bit about how to connect with your department, maybe.
Absolutely. Employment Options does have a Facebook page in Timmins, Kirkland Lake, and New Liskeard. You can contact us and book appointments in some cases directly through our Facebook page. We have an Instagram account. We also have a LinkedIn. You can contact us also through our email address, which is nl.employmentservices@northern.on.ca. All of our email addresses and our contact information is available at northernemployment.ca. So it's very easy to contact us. You can also call each individual location, anything like that, get in contact with us. I sometimes get asked in the waiting in line in the grocery store for information. So, we're all part of a small community here.
Absolutely.
And, we take care of each other in that way. So there's a lot of different ways to contact us.
That's true. From grocery stores till Facebook, we're everywhere. You want to connect it with us, we will be there. You just have to ask with your true heart and just say employment option or academic upgrading or Northern Training Division, even Northern College. I think Kara and I will pop up out of nowhere. Hey, you thought about us? What's happening? Let's talk about Tina. What are the connecting options for you? Facebook, you name it. Let's see if there's something new coming up from your side.
Well, our Facebook page is relatively new, so that hopefully we'll see some uptake from that. I have to say, word of mouth is our biggest referral system, which says a lot about our program. So we know that we do have happy students out there. We get a lot of referrals from community service programs such as Ontario Works, March of Dimes, that sort of thing, WSIB for retraining. We get referrals from Employment Options all the time, but word of mouth is the biggest one. Students, sometimes the self-referrals are starting to come in the last about 18 months, I've noticed, where people just go to the Northern College website and fill out the form right on the website that they want to go to academic upgrading, and it gets directed to the appropriate campus. So that's been a new intake of people that way, which is quite successful as well. And like Jen said, once they know who you are, you can't go to the gas station or the grocery store or the post office without somebody asking, whether it's for themselves or their grandson or their sister.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because I remember when COVID hit, everything was online, and I was in lockdown, and it pretty much during the end of summer, I went out on Tim Hortons to just get myself a coffee. It was been so long. I'm like, I need one, right? So I went in, and I remember everybody was asking me, what's Northern College doing? Are you all online or not? So it's the magic of having a small community, right? We're always accessible and we're always there to help. So let's go to a little bit more talk about the programs. We know how a person can be referred. We know how you can serve them. Let's talk about the flexibility and the cost of the program. How does that work? Is there any cost associated? Are these like super flexible, or they have to kind of give up on something in order to get the program? How does that work? We go with the same format again, J, K, T. So let's go with Jennifer.
All of these services that are at Employment Options Emploi are completely free. We're government funded for that reason. We are essentially community employment services, and as such, we do not charge for our services. There are a lot of benefits to using our services. We have, you can come in and use our computers, our photocopiers, faxes, and, we have specialized services. We have boardrooms that can be used for community as well. A little less now during COVID. However, there's a lot more restrictions on things like that. However, our equipment is top notch. Being part of Northern College helps us out in that regard. So, but all of our services are free.
Okay, let's go with Kate.
So not all of our services are free. Some of it is paid training, but there are, as Jennifer mentioned, some different funding opportunities to potentially participate in the training, such as Second Career or the Canada Ontario Job Grant. But as I mentioned, we also apply for different pools of funding to offer different types of training within our communities. So these training opportunities are funded. So that means that there's usually no tuition, and that a lot of the direct costs for training, such as textbooks, potentially tools, or protective equipment, may also be covered as part of these programs, but that varies by program, by the type of funding that we receive. In terms of our flexibility, our programs are designed to be delivered in a certain way. And what we do to, I guess, prepare our learners is to actively screen them ahead of training, to just let them know what they can expect from the program, how many hours a week, how many weeks it's going to last, so that they can decide whether that would be a program that's suitable for them to participate in.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Kate, for that information. Let's go with Tina.
Okay, so the upgrading program is free as well. And when I say free, I mean $20. The $20 that, not this year, but the $20 that is associated with the program goes to the Northern College Student Association. So that, which is a huge discount, by the way. So that enables our students to be part of any of the activities that the association might be putting on, and it just allows them to feel part of the entire Northern College community. The students supply their own paper and pens and that sort of stuff, binders, but we have the textbooks. We keep the textbooks in the library, so it's a lending system, much like you would at any normal library, where they go take out the textbook they need and return it when they're done. The flexibility of our program, we have set hours every semester, and they are subject to change depending on, who's teaching in post-secondary or whatnot. For example, this particular semester, I'm actually doing an evening course. I noticed that there was a lot of people that were contacting me in the evening for support last semester. So I decided to throw in an evening course this week or this semester to alleviate or to help those people out that were working, 9 to 5, or waiting for their partner to be home from work to look after the children so that they could sit down and actually concentrate on their academics. And that's worked out quite nicely. We encourage full attendance. We're in class for 25 hours a week, and we encourage full attendance, but we understand people have jobs, and they have to support their family, whatnot. So we make allowances for that, and they come on when they can, but we do stipulate you need to maintain X amount of hours, or so much % of your agreed upon time, because we found in the past that if people do not commit to that particular time on a weekly basis, they're less likely to be successful. So, we try to strongly encourage that attendance. You must be in class or online with us to get our support and to keep moving forward.
Absolutely. That is actually true. That's true. The way, and that's what happens to me too. Like, I remember I started working from home, but Kara knows that I go to office most of the time if I can, because it just gives me that feeling to work a little bit more. At home, I don't know. I'm getting less productive now. That's one of the things. I have to figure out what's happening there. So I might need you, Tina, to give all that information that you have, the statistics that you did, maybe something on that avenue too. Last question, but not the least, and it is the most important one. It has to be spoken because it is there. So let's talk about how the services and programs are delivered during COVID-19 pandemic. Is anything changed, or everything has been changed? And let's say if it goes back normal, how would it change? So let's go with Jennifer first, Kate second, Tina third. Jennifer is having good time with the cat there.
we've been really lucky during this process to be able, and very fortunate to be able to have changed all of our programming to be virtual. And we've also been very fortunate in the Timiskaming district, specifically New Lisker, Kirkland Lake, because we've had access to programs that connect people to digital technology that wouldn't have access to it. So, barring that, all of our services are available virtually, by phone, in person when we can, depending on, the restrict level in the community at the time. Right now, our services are virtual, but you can contact us by telephone, by email. We do have a doorbell where you can come and get information. We have almost like a curbside delivery for people that require resumes and things like that. Where we can safely provide them with what they need at a reasonable distance. So, we're trying our best to provide the same service, whether it's pandemic or not pandemic. So everything for us has remained the same, except we are now connecting with individuals, through video, through telephone, through email. And, and as a result, we've seen quite an uptick in services to new and unique clients, right? Clients that may have had, anxiety issues or things like that before, preventing them from coming or walking into our offices. Now that they feel a little more confident speaking to us over the phone or over email a little more. And because we're allowed to do that and allowed to gather, consent forms and things for electronically, it's made things a little bit easier for people in our communities accessing employment services.
That's so true, because I remember when I go for my traveling, I can only have enough traveling in a month or two, right? You have limited resources, you have limited time, you have limited energy. But this time I was able to even do far distance presentations just because of online options. So I was able to actually reach better, and I was able to reach more compared to any other conventional year where I'm driving everywhere. So I understand that if there are new avenues coming out because of COVID, and there are so many new things that are also coming up saying that maybe this job could be online from now on. There is no need for this person to be here. So there are a lot of changes that are coming up there. Some are positive, some are not, but that's how world works. Every coin has two sides. On that philosophical note, let's go with Kate.
So similar to Jen, our services are, we're normally face-to-face, and we've migrated a lot of our training into a Zoom or Teams or even Blackboard platform, just where theory is concerned, so that we can do this as safely as possible for ourselves and the students. However, there are certainly instances, because we offer practical training, and by that, apprenticeship, for example. If we're offering something that's practical, then we are operating using the public health guidelines at our campus, because we are our Timiskaming region and our Porcupine campuses are in two different health units. And we just ensure to follow all public health guidelines when we are doing any kind of face-to-face training.
Thank you very much, Kate. And let's go with Tina.
Okay, so we have virtual classrooms. So just like we would be in the classroom for 25 hours a week face-to-face, we are online 25 hours a week virtually. It's kind of like this, kind of like Hollywood Squares. And as Jennifer said, it really has opened my eyes towards the people that we were missing because of perhaps social anxiety, or young babies at home, or transportation, that they're attending class, they're progressing, and you know, a year ago, I would have said this will never work online, and I would be eating my words right now, because if anything, it's been better. Attendance has been better. Progress has been better. You know, I'm really quite impressed with how it's going. Now, you know, we get the odd person that it just doesn't work for, and that's fine. But moving forward, I'm really hoping that we'll be able to offer a hybrid or a blended type of learning. So where we have face-to-face classes and online classes as well. People seem to be, we use Microsoft Teams, by the way, and people are more apt to ask questions through a message than they are out loud in the classroom. So, and it's easy just to scoot over to a different channel and to address, you know, those questions. And then we go back and resume, you know, with the rest of the class. It's just working out really well, beyond what I ever thought it would.
That's so true. And that's the thing too. Before, I think 2 years ago, if we talk about online, it was considered as a lack of commitment. Now it's not. And I'm happy that going in the future, it won't be like that anymore. It would be the same way. People will go into this hybrid option, and it will be more accessible. I think we were using internet at our best of capability, but now it's even better. Now it's even going towards this professional approach too, and it's much better. So before we go to Q&A session, I would keep this space open for you, Jennifer, Kate, and Tina, if you guys want to talk about something. If I have missed out on something, maybe there was a message that you were hoping to talk, I was not able to, I'll keep it open for you. If not, that's fine. We can go to Q&A session.
Wait, I actually do feel the need to mention, which I forgot this whole time to mention, that we do have youth programs as well. So, you know, although we do, most of our service comes to assist job seekers and employers, we do have programs that are geared for youth. So we have programs that are geared specifically for high school youth, 15 to 18 age group. And then we have other programs, which are paid programs, which are geared towards the youth group 15 to 29. So I feel the need to just mention that, just in case anyone is interested in those types of programs. And those programs come with learning about employment, and various things, employment, like teamwork, you know, like soft skills and hard skills. We do WMIS, those types of things, but then also comes with a job placement, which will allow us to be able to put those skills that they learned to good use.
All right. What was that? Was it your phone, Jennifer?
It's a regular alarm for my sick cat, and that's probably why he was coming to see me, but I give him medicine every day at this time.
Yeah. What happened actually? What's wrong with the cat?
Thyroid problem.
Oh. I'm not a big cat person, but Kara is, I know, and look at her face. She's already sad about it.
Oh.
Well, we wish everything works out for the, what's the name of the cat?
I have two. One is called Chevy and the other one is called Goosey.
Chevy and Goosey. All right. We have all the positive energy. It all works out. They get healthy, and they go through this problem, and it's all working out at the end. So let's go to Kate. Let's talk. If you have missed out on anything, do you feel like, or?
I think the one thing that I would really like to mention is how to contact us. One email for the whole training division. It's training@northern.on.ca. You can direct your questions about what we offer and programs that we may have available to that email, and it'll be filtered down to the proper staff to respond to you. I think the other thing that we just really want to highlight is being a part of any one of these services will give you access to all of the others. So really want to reiterate that referral process, that we all work together. And certainly if you're considering going and starting any kind of training, please get ready with upgrading if necessary now, so that you're ready to begin if and when that training becomes available. Specifically, as I mentioned, these funded opportunities might come through, and there may not be that same amount of time to do the upgrading. So if you're considering it at all, please connect with our upgrading departments to position yourselves to be ready to take any kind of additional training.
Thank you very much. And let's go with Tina.
Okay, so one thing that I should have mentioned as part of the upgrading program, and specifically with Northern College and the in-house services, and it was Kate, thank you for you tweaked that in my memory there. Our students have access to all of the student services that are offered. So the health services, the accessibility services, the library, the Indigenous services, OSAP. And the list goes on and on and on, that we are able to just basically walk them down the hall, or now connect them through email or Teams to the appropriate person, so that they are getting the extra support that way that they may need as well.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Tina. So I know, Kara, there's a lot of activities going on in the chat because it's all popping all over the place. So I would give you the floor. Take over. Let's answer some
Sure.
questions.
Thank you. Okay, yeah, there's a lot going on here, so I'm just trying to get organized. So we just had this question come in from Tracy, and I believe it would be for academic upgrading, but I'll read it aloud here. So my child is 15, and with COVID-19, she will finish her grade 10 with missing credits. Is there something that she could take by correspondence, maybe even over the summer?
Okay, so I would need a little bit more information than that, specifically how many credits are missing. So summer classes are not something, or what geographical area she's in as well would be helpful too. In Haileybury, we don't often offer summer courses unless we know that there are enough people that will be starting post-secondary in the fall. However, depending on how many credits they are missing, if they're only missing 1 or 2 credits, I would refer them to a different program where they would actually finish their high school diploma, that sort of thing. So I would just need more information to offer to be able to answer that question more appropriately.
Fair. Okay, so I've just asked her if she can just provide more detail in the chat. I'll move to the next question, and then if she does, maybe we can revisit that. Oh, she's from Hearst.
Okay, so is my me? Yeah, I'm good. I'm not sure if Hearst does correspondence courses. Now they may very well be able to offer that to her. And it's just a matter of, going onto the Northern College website and finding the Hearst location and contacting Fanny there. And Fanny will help her out as much as she can.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. Hope that helped, Tracy. Okay, so our next there's a new message coming in. Oh, thank you. Okay, perfect. So let me just scroll back up to the other question. So I don't have my grade 12, but I want to be a heavy duty mechanic. What are my options without having to go to school for 2 years?
So we would have to do the grade 12. And in order to get the grade 12, you have to do your grade 12 math, your grade 12 English. You get to do 2 other grade 12 courses that may help you. And I would suggest a different math, an apprenticeship math as well, and perhaps even computers to get that grade 12 diploma. From there, because it's apprenticeship, you have to be registered with the ministry. Not only that, but you need to find an employer that is going to be able to take you in and apprentice you. I would absolutely provide all this information to them, and maybe even start the process a little bit before they actually finish with me. For example, hooking them up with the ministry, so they might have a little bit more information that way, having a presentation, having somebody come in and do a presentation on it. And then I would most likely refer over to Employment Options, since they are very familiar with the employers in the community, much more so than I am. And I would just hand over the reins to Jen.
Perfect. Jen, did you want to add to that at all, or do you want to?
Yeah, I mean, and that would be like one avenue. Absolutely. Tina would refer to Employment Options, and then what we would do is we would do an assessment with that person as well, more so a career assessment, to find out what they have accumulated as far as like to be the steps to be able to be an apprentice. And then we would absolutely assist them, once they are ready to find a sponsoring employer, which would assist them with, getting those hours in to be able to, complete those levels of apprenticeship.
A third option, I mentioned that we apply for funded training programs. Now, currently we're running one which would potentially, assist in a situation like this. It's called a pre-apprenticeship program. And I've got a millwright running right now, and I'll just give you a general idea of what pre-apprenticeship goes through. So a pre-apprenticeship would start with an academic upgrading component. That would be with the aim to get anyone who does not have their high school diploma the equivalency through the upgrading program. Then we go into, trade readiness, where we're giving health and safety training, exposure to whatever trade we're delivering. And normally we also do an exposure to at least one or two secondary trades. Pre-apprenticeship training also comes with a level 1. And so the level 1 is the apprenticeship training, the in-school curriculum or theory that needs to be done for that particular apprenticeship. And then the program generally ends with work placement, something to get those practical skills and put them into use. Pre-apprenticeship is not something that we offer all the time. This is one of those funded training opportunities that we apply for. If we are successful in getting pre-apprenticeship, then we certainly will put that out into the community and advise. But this is just a different, there are so many pathways for apprenticeship, and this is just a different one. Certainly it's available through the Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program. Some of our post-secondary programs have apprenticeship embedded within them. So if you graduate from the program, you could be exempt from the levels of training once you are a registered apprentice. But if there are questions about apprenticeship, you can direct them to our apprenticeship department. You can direct them to Employment Options and even through academic upgrading, and we're all happy to provide you with the different pathways that you can follow to become an apprentice.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, so I have another question, and I'll answer it first, and then if anyone else wants to answer. So it's in regards to the accelerated PSW and if whether or not it would be better to take the regular PSW program or this accelerated option. So Rosie, really, it's completely up to you. I think it's an awesome opportunity and a kind of a unique experience that has popped up. It's completely government funded for the tuition portion. So that kind of has its own advantage, and it's more of a get in, get out and get you in the field sort of opportunity. So if that's something that you're looking for, to save that bit of money and then also get in as quickly and get out as quickly as possible, maybe that's something that you want to look at. I know you were concerned about being able to work at the same time as taking this program. I would say if you are able to, that would probably be a great option for you. If you are wanting to do the regular PSW program, I'm going to highlight this in a second, but again, that is a 2-year program. So you will, do the regular 2 semesters, then go on your break and then do the other 2 semesters. So it is a little bit longer. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And then also you do have to pay the tuition. We do have the Proud to be Northern entrance bursary, which would apply for this, as well as actually the PSW program will get $500 towards their tuition. So that does help with the tuition cost, but it isn't the free one like the accelerated. So it kind of depends on what you're looking for. That would be my answer. But if anyone else would like to add to that. Nope. Okay, perfect. Sumit, did you have anything else to add? Or?
I mean, it was so well answered. I have nothing else
Thank
to.
you.
Yeah, so I would say, Rosie, that's the best way. It's up to you. You decide on what you want to do, and I think both options will be okay for you.
So she just has a follow-up here. What options do I have for money to take the fast one? So I think you're meaning in terms of employment. Like we said earlier, you likely can work part-time. Just understand that it is going to be a more intense program. So it's really whether or not you can handle, taking a fast-paced program while working simultaneously. We don't know what you're able or what you're capable of, and that would be for you to assess.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's additional bursaries and such that go in with the fast pace because it is 100% government funded.
Yeah.
So that would be a good question for Jarrett.
And it's 100% funded, so there's nothing that you have to pay. There could be.
I believe they have to pay the ancillary fees still.
Exactly. The ancillary, and I think the books and everything else is also covered. But again, government is always sending us updates every weekly base, so we know more about it. But I would say if you're thinking about taking the accelerated program, I would not worry about working at that time because it's kind of funded. You won't be enduring that many expenses, and it's accelerated. So it's going to be already too much to do it. I'm pretty sure you won't be even able to make some time for work at that time because it's so jam-packed in. Imagine 4 months of intense training. So if you're thinking about that part, I would say get into it, give your 100% and get it done with. And that would be the best thing to do.
Jen just messaged me here about OSAP. I believe that it is OSAP eligible. Again, these details, it kind of just sprung up on us and we're kind of just working with it as we go here. So I believe it's OSAP eligible. So maybe that funding can go towards your housing, your food, your costs that might be associated with that. If you are worried about that portion. So that's a good thing to check out as well.
Absolutely.
But we would have to double check on that because I don't think we know for certain on that.
Yes, and Jared would be the right person to ask those questions.
Jared's our go-to guy here.
Yes.
He's been the lead for answering all these PSW.
He is the PSW man. So if you have any questions, send him a big email about every questions that you have. Pretty sure he'll be able to answer every one of them.
Yeah. And then Tracy here just about what other costs need to be considered. So we just kind of touched on more coming in here. How will students be selected? I believe that it's the same sort of requirements that would be for the normal program. We do have quite a few seats still open. I believe Northern's offering 75 seats amongst all of the campuses. So I know that it's not closed yet. You do still have time to register and apply for that. And then do you know when this PAW accelerated start and end date? I know it starts in May. I think it's May.
May, June, July, August. I think August end is all done. Maybe September 1st week at the max, but that's about it.
We should have, I believe, more information on our website as well. I can look for the link on that.
And the other thing is too, Kara, that's the problem too. I mean, we have information, but it's only coming in packages from ministry, so we don't have all of it. But again, Jennifer, Kate, Tina, if you guys have anything that you can talk about a little bit on PSW, help us out here.
So it's Tina, and yes, so to apply, you have to go to the OCAS website and apply. So there's a $95 fee for that. And it is my understanding, Rosie, that OSAP will be available to people. But I'd also like to mention that Upgrading is providing a 2-week prep course for the PSW program. And that is happening in April, the last 2 weeks in April. So it's 50 hours, 25 hours a week. So Tracy, if you're up in Hearst and are thinking about that, you want to contact Fanny and apply for that so you can get in and do that. And I do have a list of what will be happening for the prep course. Sorry about that. So it's stuff such as soft skills, time management, communication in the workplace, customer service in the healthcare field, professionalism in the workplace. There's a math component, there's an English component, there's a computers component, there's an orientation to the college component. And that is, getting to know the accessibility team, OSAP, and Indigenous services. And there's also a presentation and a Q&A with the PSW coordinator. So if you're serious about taking, especially the accelerated program, I would highly suggest that people try to enroll in the healthcare prep course at Academic Upgrading, and that will be completely online.
And then I just linked the link to our website with all the information about the PSW Accelerated Program, and it does begin on May 10th. So
Perfect.
a lot more information there.
Any other questions?
No, that is the end of the questions. Just a few things that we wanted to mention to make sure everybody knows about. The first thing, and I did talk about it a little bit, but Northern College has a $1,000 entrance bursary. So for anyone entering into a two-year, three-year program, or the welder fitter program, Bachelor of Science nursing program, or the pre-service firefighter program, you will get $1,000 towards your second semester tuition automatically. You don't have to apply for this special bursary. It just will automatically come off as long as you register and pay your deposit, $250 deposit, by April 12th. The next thing, and I did talk about this a little bit too, was the PSW. It's the same thing, but for PSW, it's $500, and that's if you begin in September. That's it for me, Sumit.
Thank you very much for taking that over. Anything else that we are missing out on? Kate, Jennifer, Tina?
I just want to say that I did post the registration link for the academic upgrading program in the chat. From there, when you fill out the information, as you scroll down, it'll ask what you want to register for, and there is an option for the healthcare prep.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Kate, anything else? You good?
If you follow our page, we will be posting pre-registration links as well for any upcoming training opportunities. So please get in touch with us. Let us know what you're interested in so that we can contact you if we're able to offer you something of interest to you.
Thank you. So I think this is it. So thank you very much. Kara, thank you. Jennifer, Kate, Tina, it was always a pleasure to talk to you guys. I hope you guys got a lot of information that was helping you. Again, if you still have any questions, this is not the end. This is the start of it. So send an email, follow us on Facebook, ask your questions anywhere if you feel like. If you found about a question that you want to ask, or maybe you remember a question 2 days after this, again, always reach out to us. We are always there to help you out. You can always book an individual appointment with me, Kara, or Hope. If you want to talk about Northern College, there's an online booking tool on our website. And that will be all. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Stay safe. Take care. Bye.